There might be some rain coming through. We expect rain soon. Rain is close. The session has been declared wet. No sign of this rain stopping. Rain is clearing up. Rain should be gone for now. Nothing but sunshine all day.
Move on the map, never sleep. What you gonna do when you out? Who you with? You ain't really don't did, don't do. Really wanna move on the map, never slip. Put your hands to your lips, don't did, don't
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, been a 3 weeks off thereabouts. We're back, ready to go. Racer Nexus here, Throttle Freaks, Season 5, GT3 Racing. We're here for Season 5, Week 1, St. Petersburg, Florida. I'm Richard Swindells. In the booth with me tonight, Stephen Kernick. Rob Campbell, taking the night off with the mouth. He's working the controls in production. Cameras, as always, by Track Cams 22. Are we ready to watch another race, another exciting racing with Throttle Freaks? We've got, it looks like about 46, 47 cars out in qualifying tonight. It's going to be an action-packed event. Week 1 of 10. Right now, we're doing a 45-minute sprint race. Coming up, 50% fuel load, so the drivers are going to have to pay for fuel. Looks like it's going to be an exciting season, Steven.
It's going to be a great one, and to kick off with a brand new circuit to iRacing, but it is rather hot out there. It's 120 degrees Fahrenheit, 49 degrees Celsius on the circuit. It's clear conditions, but it's extremely hot. And we've got to remind our viewers, it's fixed setup racing on a brand new circuit. Drivers are going to be really trying to figure out the track, trying to figure out how to move forward. And, well, St. Petersburg is not the easiest of circuits to really shoot your way to the top. But this is round 1. Then we have got Sebring International Raceway. That's happening on March 31st. Followed by Summit Point Raceway, Circuit de Spa Francorchamps. And we move on to Mugello, Fuji, Brands Hatch, Adali, Suzuka, and Magny-Cours, rounding out our 10-round season. Technical circuits that we have to compete with this season, and with St. Petersburg having 14 corners and 2.8 kilometers, it's not the biggest of circuits, but I would say it's one of the trickiest of ones because those walls are a little close, Richard.
Yeah, just a little bit tight. 14 corners, concrete all around you. I know, I'm not sure on your opinion of them, Stephen, but I grew up near Toronto, and I grew up watching racing at the Toronto Indy, so I love street circuits. And St. Petersburg, classic IndyCar track, the GT3 is out here tonight. What are your thoughts on street circuits and these tight confines?
I think it's the ultimate skill leveler, because push it too hard, you'll end up eating the wall left and right, as we do see with street circuits. But it favors the brave, it favors the bold, and you've really got to keep that rhythm up. And this is why to go and duke it out for 45 minutes to really power your way through, it's all about making sure you don't get caught up. But already we can see some of the catastrophe happening out in qualifying. That moment you go a little too far off the knife's edge, well, prepare to be cut. And I have to say, for the drivers for their 5th season, now needing to really dig down, try and figure out what they can do on a much anticipated circuit here to the iRacing service, well, it's going to be a great one.
It certainly is, and we're always happy to present drivers with their in-car footage. Jordan Spoon, gracious enough to share his camera. If you want to be on screen, maybe get a little more opportunity for some screen time, certainly we'd love to see you share your in-car camera. Instructions are in the Discord, folks, so thanks, Jordan. Currently 34th.
Going and charging his way through, and there is a good shot at our drivers getting themselves sorted out. Got to say, different setups coming into play is always fantastic to see out on stream, but Jordan Spoon with a bright and colorful livery this season, looking to charge his way to the top. But it's Joshua Chainsky who's at the top of the board and in the lead for the pro at the moment. He's getting chased down by David Bush, and William Frinton is holding on to 3rd place at this stage of the game for the pro. Seb Gutta going and rounding our 1st place of the pro-am, followed by Colin McKenzie and Felix Fliz, who holds on for that 3rd place in class. But then we take a look at AM, where it's a little different. Nathan Doogie holds on to the top 10, and he's got Dave Jensen behind him, but there is a good bit of distance before you get to Jesse Nunson. Looks like Nathan going and picking up the pace, able to get himself into 9th. Dave stuck in the 11th spot at this stage of the game.
Hey, and I'm just going to add a little personal thing here. We've got a Corvette up front in a pro. We've got a Corvette up front in AM. So Corvette's doing quite well out here at St. Petersburg. Rather fitting. American track, a little bit of American muscle.
Well, turbocharged V6 going and showing what it can do. Chevrolet's first run at a mid-engine vehicle seems to be the better one. And Chevrolet's not very picked in the world of iRacing, especially for street circuits. So for those that are out there, there's been talk saying, well, they're rather brave to take the cars out onto the circuit and see what they can do. However, I do think it's one of the better cars with a lot of rotation to it, allows you to quickly move through these narrow streets.
Oh, there's some rotation.
Yep. Dale, unfortunately, catching the wall, and that puts to bed his qualifying, as we have got less than 3 minutes left for the drivers who sit at the top of the board here at Throttle Freaks GT3 fixed racing.
Yeah, and Throttle Freaks has drivers from all around the world, folks. A lot from US, a lot from Canada, but William Fenson currently in 4th place in the pro category. William Fenson's racing earlier in the morning, folks. He's from Australia and been with Throttle Freaks, I believe, since the beginning, so always nice to see him back here. Also back in David Bush III, currently sitting 2nd overall, so David Bush III always running the Lambo, always in that, I'll call it magenta paint scheme. Once again, up near the front.
It's going to be a great one, but also we have a little bit of a new cast of drivers compared to our last season winners, which is absolutely wonderful to see. Drivers looking to stay their way to the top. But once again, this is just qualifying. Anything can happen in the race, and drivers are well aware of that situation, what they need to do to stay at the top. But Richard, let's think about this. You have got quite a few cars on circuit. You're sitting with about 46 cars out on track looking to fight it out. We've seen how difficult trains can be in GT3 racing. Add a street circuit to it, there's narrow passing maneuvers, and you've got to really think about where can you take that dive, where can you strike. Otherwise, if you do get it wrong, get a kill off in your drive, you get swallowed up by the field. For these drivers in fixed setup conditions, extremely hot conditions, what will they need to do? What will they need to focus on to get their way to the top if they can't qualify in clear air like our leaders at the moment?
Yeah, that's a tough one, Stephen. Realistically, as a driver myself, I'm a mid-packer. I'm more of a, when you get on this type of circuit, you just run the best pace you can, and attrition's going to move you well up the field. But the driver's really looking to move up front. There's limited opportunities here. Turn 1's a decent passing opportunity, maybe 4, maybe turn 10, but that's about it, really, I think, unless somebody's doing a really late dive. And it's really tough to do with those walls that tight. I mean, you've got to have some nerve.
Take a breath and keep going. Our top 6 within, that make it our top 7 within a second of one another. So the drivers are really going and having a great one there. So far, fastest lap time is 1:11.6. But the qualifying is so close amongst the drivers. Everyone trying to find the edge on one another, seeing who can move forward. But from 8th place, they sit into the 1:12s, which I do expect to be the race pace for our drivers to keep going, to really get their way towards the top. But the 1:11 is incredibly quick around a circuit that hasn't had much time out on the service, and many of the drivers had to learn within the first couple of weeks of this year.
Yeah, that's for sure. And realistically, the times are quite tight. We've got, it looks like about 23 drivers within a second of Joshua Chinsky's current provisional pole time. So very tight racing. And you go down another second, and then you've got pretty much the rest of the field. So in spite of having 3 classes, drivers having a lot of pace tonight. Let's take a look at Sully Sad. Sully Sad currently in 12th place right now. Sully Sad, a Pro-Am driver this season, driving the Porsche. All the makes are well represented. We've got Corvettes, Porsches, Ferraris, Lambos, Ford, Acura, all in the top 10. So a nice display of different manufacturers.
Showing that the BOP is working as intended, as we do see the drivers coming across the line, taking the checker flag, signaling the end of qualifying. A couple of drivers still pushing a little bit hard out there. Drew Duesi going and keeping his foot down in the Mustang, a little bit squirrely on the exit, but he's hoping that it's going to be some improvement out of 41st position. Unfortunately, not able to jump up and will have to sit waiting it out. Doug Miller, same problem. Got his foot on the gas, just didn't have enough legs in it. But I've got to point out, Jason Park pulling into pit lane, practicing that pit lane. As you said in the beginning of the show, that they will need to stop for fuel. And this is an interesting point because that pit lane is down on the main straight. You really got to try and eye it out and carry pace in, not too quick. Otherwise, you will suffer a penalty. It's going to be interesting to see how many drivers have practiced just going around the track and how many drivers have practiced going into that very, very tricky pit lane.
Yeah, it's not just the tricky entrance to pit lane. You're coming out at the end of the straightaway there, so really the pit stops are critical here on a street circuit. You really want to do whatever you can to, you know, move up the field through pit strategy. It's easier to pass in the pits than it is out here on the course.
And as we start moving over to our gridding process, it's Joshua Chensky out in the front with David Bush in second place. Tyler Croft in third, along with Tyler Katu, followed by William Friesen and Seb Gunter. Jason Park, Felix Fritz, along with Colin McKenzie, Nathan Doogie, Caleb Lemon, Sully Sard, Dave Jensen, Pete Majaya, and in 15th position, it's Dale Peterson, Matt Sheriff, followed by Herbs Pineda going and chasing down Andy Mills, Jesse Newsom, Andrew Tickett, Sean Provost, along with Andrew Venero. Andreas Epinoza in 23rd. 25th is Cesar Jermes, along with Jay Staffy. Jordan Spoon in 26th position, along with Ian Cabana, Jacob Fickner, along with David Morse, and rounding out our top 30 is Jeff Evans. Andrew Ellis holds on for 31st, Caleb Selner, Kevin Request, Neil Alexander, Justin Welsh, Matt Mars, Chris Lum, along with Jacob Wagner, Barry Kachurni, Jordan Walker, Drew Drewski, Buck Hamilton, Doug Miller, and in 45th is Willie Brennan, Chase Maseko in 45th, and Robert Jeffries will be rounding out the pack with no qualifying time in 46th position. It is a massive, massive field.
You must be out of breath, Stephen. Well done getting through that. We got a short pace lap here in Throttle Freaks, so these drivers can have a very short opportunity to get those tires heated up. Basically, they're going to come around here through turns 10, turns 11 and 12 are barely turns at all, and they're going to head around that final corner before coming down the straightaway in just a little bit of time here. Just waiting for the pace car to get underway. Look at how long and how many cars are here, Stephen.
That is a monster train, but now the drivers have got to put all their concerns to one side, shake off those nerves, take a deep breath, and get ready to rock and roll for round one. It's all about maximizing the points here tonight for all three classes, and with a short formation lap to try and get some heat into the tires, some heat into the brakes, drivers will be looking forward and being rather cautious of the concertina effect as they round the final corner. Richard, we're getting ready to go on the green.
Yeah, we've got Joshua Kaczynski taking the lead with the field. David Bush, a third to the outside. Maybe the preferred line. Cars bubbling up, and it looks like we are going here. Joshua Kaczynski off to a great jump. David Bush, the third, holding on, but Tyler Graff looking for a little position change. A couple more position changes. Oh, big catastrophe in the midfield there. Somebody coming from deep. Taking about 3-4 cars out. Looks like everybody else getting through relatively cleanly, but that's going to really impact the race for those early drivers. Unfortunate for them.
Bit of repair work needed to be right off the bat as we see Tyler currently in third place, chasing down the Lamborghini of David Bush, trying to figure out where can he get that little bit of a run. But it is Jay Steffi who unfortunately gets a meatball flag. He's going to be needing a bit of work to the car. Joshua, with a great run off the start, now wants to do everything he can to stay out towards the front.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like we lost Andrew Trickett, Dale Peterson, Justin Welsh. We had a bunch of drivers involved in a little bit of incidents, but overall, right now, the person to look at Josh Oczynski, a 1.4 second lead early on. Great driving by Josh Oczynski, expanding that lead, coming around to complete lap number 1.
It is all about momentum now, getting yourself into the rhythm, and find out for third place is Tyler Couture and Tyler Croft trying to close up the distance. Felix holds on currently for 5th place. He's under pressure from Nathan in 6th. And it's a bit of an interesting one here. Felix currently leads out the AM division, more than happy to just keep a solid drive as he's got no pressure from Salisad that lies in 9th position at this stage of the game.
Yeah, and Nathan Doogie in the Corvette still maintaining the lead in his division as well. We've lost a bunch of drivers, unfortunately, but the rest of them still racing on. Take a look at Jacob Figner, last year's AM winner, up 11 positions already, taking advantage of others' misfortunes, also making some passes on his own. So Jacob Figner up 11 positions. He's sitting 17th, 4th in class overall in the Pro-Am division.
A quick replay of everything that's gone on from our race start. Doug Miller in the 75 Motorsports Black, just having a bit of a slow get off the line. But here is where it all went wrong. Jason Park getting clipped from behind from a Chevrolet, piles through the field, and unfortunately it was just door-to-door wall banging the whole way through, and it's Seb Gutta who gets it absolutely hit on the back of the SRT white Lamborghini. Not gonna be too happy with that one, and it will be looking to try to get the car out and try and maximize points out on the circuit. So far we're in for a great run, but a couple of drivers needing to now think about their pit stops. When do you get into the box? This is Andrew Trickett trying to make his way through in the BMW, having a very, very difficult time being stuck on the outside, and just had one of the Ferraris coming across his nose. Not quite what he wanted to have. Jay, who landed up getting caught out on the start, served a drive-through penalty and needs to carry on his merry way. But out in front, Joshua leaving David Bush for a bit of a problem right now as Tyler stays on the back of him, and Joshua Chinsky in that Chevrolet, the SRT purple, continues the run. The SRT team having not quite the best of runs, but has so far been improving his drive lap after lap. He's been getting better and better, and down into the 111.9 on that lot. So as the drivers keep moving forward, David Bush in 2nd place. But there is a fight, 5th and 6th, trying to close up on one another and trying to see where they go. But this is Herbert Pineda going and giving everything he can. Dave Jensen just up the road from him, trying to see where can he get late on the anchors, going and trying to get as late as he can. The Lamborghini having a lot of rotation, but the Mercedes going as wide as possible. And man, oh man, Dave is ensuring there is no room on these streets. You're going to be stuck in the Florida traffic and have to wait it out a little bit longer.
Yeah, Herbert Pineda and Dave Jensen, no strangers to each other, Steven, just so you know. They've raced together in good, close, hard battles for a number of seasons here at Throttle Freaks. And nice to see the old man Herbert giving a good battle to Dave Jensen up ahead. We're going to go a little further through the field. Colin McKenzie, one of, well, he was the race director giving the announcements to the instructions to all the racers earlier this evening. So Colin McKenzie currently in 16th place, having himself a good battle with Andrew Venaro. We got Acura against Ferrari. These two drivers also no stranger to each other. Look at the stream of cars coming down that straightaway. We must have 12, 15 cars on the straight all at the same time. That's pretty impressive 5 laps into this race.
Evan Berquist trying to move forward. Ian Cabana, unfortunately, losing a bit of time here, having to bend a little bit against the 78 of Caleb. And contact into the wall. Bounce, bounce, and across the nose. There is a bit of a problem out there, and that is a Ferrari looking a little bit worn out. Ian, unfortunately, towed back to pits. Now, I do want to bring up, you talked about Colin McKenzie. He is the only Acura in the field. As we take a look to the replay and see what exactly went on with Ian. Just had the door close on one of our Ferraris, and then unfortunately into the wall and took out the 67. Just had nowhere to go other than just try and push through the side.
Yeah, Caleb Lehman here, the SRT purple driver, and we can tell he's purple because of the purple wheels there, folks. Quite the most of the SRT rocking that green, white, black livery. But Caleb Lehman, the 42 car, currently 7th, having himself a good race, up 4 positions, currently 5th in the pro category.
Trying to charge his way through the field, but let's remind everyone that there is still a pit stop the drivers are going to have to do because, well, the fuel tanks are going to run out as they're on 50% fuel. Jordan Spoon trying to get a little bit of a run on a green, unfortunately not having any. Jacob going and holding the line as he tries to move up towards Colin McKenzie. You can see how Jordan is hunting left, right, takes a dive on the inside, runs out of room, but very, very close. Then it's evenly matched, but Jacob going and sporting a little bit of damage to the nose of his Mercedes, and that is giving the opportunity for Jordan Spoon to just close up that little bit of room, and outbreaking into the wall, one of our Ferraris, and that's Andrew Venero, who got caught into the wall. Looks like Colin McKenzie joined him in that one. Venero, unfortunately, going and need to limp that car back to the pits, and that pony to the glue factory. Quick look to the replay.
Take a look at the replay. Yeah, the replay. We watch Andrew Venaro coming along here. Everything's looking good at this stage, but that was not Andrew Venaro's doing. Colin McKenzie into the back of him. I believe that's Colin, and unfortunately, that ends the day for Andrew Venaro.
Bit of a bent suspension, and that pretty much calls it quits. Drew now on the back of Chris Lum at the moment, and Chris not having an easy drive out there, having to go centre line. Now, Richard, you are a pro when it comes to racing on the street circuits. What would be the game plan for the drivers here?
That's me.
What will they need to do to hold the line?
Well, what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to survive. You know, if you're trying to hold somebody off ahead of you, or behind you, I should say, just drive your line. They can't get by you. The only place they're going to get by you is doing a nice a late lunge, getting a better exit coming on these long straightaways. As long as you're ahead of them, you're laughing. And if you're following them behind, it's a long race, folks. It's 45 minutes long. We've still got 36 minutes left and a pit stop. Don't make any dangerous plays this early, as you can see what's happened to a lot of drivers. I mean, I think we've lost about close to 10 drivers here already. So attrition is going to play a part. Don't be part of that attrition.
Try and keep your head in the game the whole way through. But this also brings in the question, what are the drivers doing to those tires? It is extremely hot out there still. You're looking at the track surface at 116 degrees Fahrenheit, and that is going to be worn down on a very abrasive track as well. The street circuit, not smooth, not easy to drive on, and well, these drivers are not holding any back to get towards the sharp end of the field. Late braking coming in all over. No one able to get the run, as Chris having to go around the outside to defend his line. For the Pro-Am category, he's got Barry all over the back of him, trying to see where he can move forward. And Barry not holding his pace back. He wants to try and charge up towards the front to the the GT3 Am field.
Yeah, good little battle there. Barry Cochran, Chris Lum, Drew DeWeese. We got a battle. I mean, for a while there, we had four Ford Mustangs in a row, and yeah, four Ford Mustangs in a row. 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th now with Buck Hamilton.
And unfortunately, Andrew Elias looks like he went and outbraked himself in the McLaren, not having the easy time out there as well. Has a bit of damage to the nose, outbraked himself, went straight on, and then had to wait for the field to come through before he was able to rejoin the circuit. Not what he wanted to have, but very easy to do on a circuit like this. Going and missing out that brake marker. If you're 2 meters short of where you need to be, well, unfortunately, you're visiting the side roads. You're going to be checking out the scenery out here at St. Petersburg.
Oh my goodness, I'm just noticing something there as we take a look at Tyler Cato. Tyler Cato, the 76 car, currently in 4th place in the Porsche. Tyler Graf just ahead of him. Tyler Graff, a longtime member of Throttle Freaks, driving a Ferrari. Is that a Ferrari I'm seeing on you, Tyler? Pretty sure I'm used to seeing you drive something a little different, maybe perhaps a little German engineered. Now you've gone over to the Italian side. That said, Tyler Cato's driving his old car, folks. He's driving the Porsche. Tyler Cato, Tyler Graff, nice battle, 3rd and 4th place.
Going and trying out something new, seeing if the mid-engine will work out with the track selection this season, relying more on technical as they do like one of our RVs, that is the 122 car of Jordan Walker, minding out of the way, not wanting to be caught out, not wanting to hold up the rest of the field. He holds on to 35th at the moment, but that Audi looking a little bit second-hand as well as he tries to get himself going yet again. Pete Magia trying to keep the run at the moment. There's a scrap between the Porsches. Andy Mills, who sits in the GT3 AM category, putting pressure on our GT3 Pro-Am category. Good to see that there's close racing, and despite being in 2 different classes, our GT3 AM, GT3 Pro-Am, and Pro are all so evenly matched this season. There isn't much in it right up through the field.
Yeah, and that said, regardless of what class you're in, points are scored based on overall finish, folks. So you may be an amateur with a pro or a pro-am behind you. You don't want to give up the position if you don't have to, because that's another point. That's another point on the second place person in your division. So, you know, points are important. Nobody wants to give up a spot they've got. Everybody wants to gain more spots. We continue to follow this battle here with Andy Mills and Pete Mejia. Poor Pete Mejia having himself a good old time. Looking forward to seeing if he can have some good results. Right now, 3rd in class in the Pro-Am. So, Pete, we're going to get your name right one of these days. We keep trying, but just a little insight for you there, Steven. No matter who comes in, Rob and I called him the wrong name for weeks and weeks and weeks, and every time we bring another commentator in, we always make sure they have to talk about Pete Mejia.
Pete showing off what he can do, but here's Jordan Spoon looking cool, calm, and collected at the moment as he brushes close to the walls on the left-hand side. Richard, I mean, this is absolutely mental. You can see how committed he is to just get his foot back on the gas as early as possible, fighting with the steering wheel, but Jordan not having the easiest of time out there.
No, definitely not. Oh, like a little different. You see, a little different apex is taking a little late corner, a little early corner. Jordan Spoon continuing to have this battle, currently in 15th place. Lang Pipe Lunatics, his new team name for this season. Jordan Spoon having himself a fabulous battle right now, trying to hold off Jesse Newsom in behind, trying to catch up to Jacob Fickner. My goodness gracious, we're sitting here 15 minutes into this race. We've still got pit stops to go. We still got drivers nose to tail up and down the field. No matter whether you're battling near the back or battling near the front, you're battling somebody, unless you happen to be Joshua Chinsky. Took pole today. He's over 2-second lead to Dave Bush III. Dave Bush III's got about a second on Tyler Graff and Tyler Cato right in behind him. So top, second, third, and fourth still within range of each other. Joshua Chinsky starting to gap the field a little bit.
While gapping the field is going to be starting to catch a few back markers and hoping to clear them as fast as possible, because the last thing he wants to do is get pushed back into Dave Bush and Tyler at the moment, who are in a monster fight and right on the back of them. But Tyler Cato, who is not backing down. So our top 4 can quite easily go and close up for that first place, as we do see that's Tyler Croft unfortunately having a little bit of a moment trying to catch the back end of the car, not having an easy run. Cato not going and running away at the moment. That Porsche absolutely giving it all his best at the moment, but just no way to get past. Jeff Evans pulls into the pits to get his pit stop done and does it with 29 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's rather early for taking that pit stop, but obviously the fuel window is open. Driver looking forward to, maybe getting out of the rat race, maybe looking for a little bit of free air as we take a look deeper in the field. Dale Peterson, longtime member, making a big move. Dale Peterson in 28th place, moving up the field a little bit. getting that move done. And wow, nice pass by Dale. Take a look at Justin Welsh in behind. Justin Welsh having to settle in that Corvette, currently in 31st place. So sorry, that's Willie Brennan now I'm looking at. We're going to cycle a little bit through the field and let you see the racing going up and down the track, folks.
Jacob Fichtner still trying to keep it all together at the moment. Got Jordan Spoon on his tail. Jordan in the bright colors in the Porsche, looks down towards the inside line, couldn't quite get it done, not close enough to make it happen, but definitely starting to show his nose more and more, forcing Jacob to look into that right hand mirror, see where he can go for a bit of defense, and that's allowing Jesse Newsom to close up the gap as fast as possible. But at the moment, Jacob Fichtner is hurting out on that circuit, not having an easy drive, and the more pressure he's got on him, the more he's looking in those rearview mirrors, the closer those walls seem to be lap after lap, as you could hear Jordan just catching the walls, scrubbing a bit of paint onto the side, and just going and sharing a little bit of that color livery here in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Yeah, well, he's just lightening up the car a little bit, you know. Make the car a little lighter. You can't increase the horsepower, but you can make it lighter. So I think that's all that's going on there. But Jacob Fichtner having himself a good race, up 14 positions. So his tires might be a little worn. We're going to go back a little through the field here. We're Matt Mars currently in 23rd place. Matt Mars also having a good day. He's up 13 positions. Matt Mars in a battle, looks like with is that Drew DeWeese in behind him. So Drew DeWeese and Matt Mars. DeWeese up the inside, Mars hugging the outside. We'll see on this exit. Oh, it looks like we're going to have a side-by-side battle here between Matt Mars, Drew DeWeese. Right now, Drew DeWeese got the inside. He's got the nose ahead. Looks like it's going to be Drew DeWeese's corner. Yeah, Matt Mars concedes that was not his to have.
I do want to point out a bit of an interesting one on Matt Mars's screen. Well, in his room, a red flashing light to signal, hey, listen, there's a car next to you. And almost like warning signs of, okay, there is a torpedo coming through. Drew is not holding back. Now you have to just keep aware of the cars. Matt Mars not having an easy time out there, but going and having a fun time indeed. Sully Sard out there in the Porsche, holds on to 9th position with Herbert Pineda going and trying to close up the distance with the Lamborghini at the moment. You can see a little bit of damage to Sully's left-hand front as he tries to just keep the car on track, starting to feel a little bit of pain. Will have a little bit of understeer starting to come into play.
Yeah, and we're 15 minutes we're 15 laps into this race, almost 20 minutes. Drivers now starting to counter traffic. Josh Uchinsky giving the little razzle-dazzle, trying to make some space for himself as he comes along and makes another lapping on, looks like Brennan. So Josh Uchinsky encountering some traffic. That may slow him down. That may allow David Bush III to close up. And yeah, that did allow David Bush III to close up. It all depends how quickly David Bush III is able to get by Brennan. So David Bush III looking to make some gains through traffic that Josh Uchinsky is starting to encounter.
Number 95 mining out of the way, light lift off the throttle, trying to let David through. David stuck on the outside, will have the racing line. He's going to be more than happy with that. I've got to say, it's wonderful to see the drivers that do use the flashes just to signal, hey, listen, I am coming through, but they haven't got the flasher connected to their throttle pedal like we see in public lobbies. So it's wonderful to see getting used the way it needs to, and not just berserk on the button to try and say, listen, I'm getting past. It's also being mindful to the drivers that, hey, listen, I might be overtaking you, but you're still in a race. You're still trying to move forward, and we don't want to go and lose our time both ways.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's in the official league rules or not. I didn't hear the race director's instructions on that, but for the most part, the racers in Throttle Freaks are fairly respectful when it comes to giving them the old razzle-dazzle, as Rob loves to say. So nice to see it used well. Take a look at Nathan Doogie. Nathan Doogie having himself a good race as well. He's first in the amateur class. He's up 4 positions on the day. He's 6 overall, Nathan Doogie is. Nathan Doogie in the Corvette putting on a performance, folks.
Now, I've got a question, Richard. Nathan Doogie has got no pressure behind, no pressure in the... to me, this is perfect. It allows the driver to concentrate on their race, concentrate on entrances and apexes. You got no pressure in the review mirrors. No one up front of you that can take away some of that aero that you so critically need around this circuit, where you have to just try and hold on to any bit of grip, mechanical and aero grip. The moment you're in that slipstream, it all fades away. For Nathan, this is perfect. This is absolutely what he wants as a GT3 AM class, just to cycle his way around, not having any pressure, and can choose when to get into the pits a little bit easier than, well, the bunched up in the front that will be relying on who's going to brake first.
Yeah, if I'm Nathan, you know what? I'm just staying out there until I'm out of fuel, and then I'm coming in, because open track in front, open track behind, sitting in first place, nothing go wrong as long as you don't make a mistake. Speaking of mistakes, we haven't seen many mistakes here out of this man tonight. Jordan Spoon, 15th place, started 26. Jordan Spoon had himself a fabulous effort. So nice to see Jordan Spoon having such a great race. I don't recall seeing him last season in Throttle Freaks. He may have been with us before, but certainly a great week one. Dale Peterson also having a good effort. Currently, he's in 12. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say that. Oh, I'm sorry, Dale. Yeah, I read that backwards, boy. There we go. Richard's on a roll, Steven. This is what you get when you broadcast with me. Dale Peterson looking to get some of those spots that he lost earlier on. Obviously getting involved in a little earlier incident. So Dale Peterson, 26th place right now, looking to get some points back here.
Gonna start a riot soon for him, that's for certain. And Sully at the moment trying to hold his line with Herbert, putting more and more pressure, just sitting in the mirrors, just filling up the left, the right, the center mirror, forcing the likes of Sully to look left, right, center. Where can he go? As Herbert just lays on that little bit of pressure, seeing if he can cause Sully to break that little bit later, or just go and kiss the wall, a little nip against the wall and lose a drive. Well, Sully not having the easiest of drives out of the corner. Now it's going to be likes for Herbert to give it everything he's got. Unfortunately, not enough into the final corner. But man, oh man, take a look at Dave Jensen out of nowhere. Late on the brakes, closed up the distance.
Yeah, nothing better than watching two drivers battle ahead of you. Dave Jensen says, hey, I want to get involved in that, folks. I'm here too. So right now, these guys are battling 9th, 10th, 11th place. Dave Jensen, fabulous effort. He looks like he's pulled a little bit of a 3-second gap to Pete Mejia, who he was battling earlier with.
Charging their way through. So far, fastest lap time of the race of 1:11.572 by Joshua Chensky. As it's side by side, as Colin going and working his way a long way around, trying to keep a little bit of pace after contact early on in this race. He now lies up into 17th position and just doing everything he can to bring it back towards the top. Pete, however, going to be definitely feeling the pressure from Andy Mills behind him.
Yeah, Andy Mills is certainly applying a tremendous amount of pressure. We're sitting here, folks, lap 20, projected to be 37, 38 laps. We're almost 25 minutes into this race, so pit stops still come for most of our drivers on the inset. We're taking a look at Neil Alexander. Neil Alexander having himself a battle with Drew DeWeese. So Drew DeWeese all over the back of Neil Alexander. Up on the big screen, we've got Sully Sad. So Sully Sad, Herbert Pineda, Dave Jensen. Like I said, folks, great racing at Throttle Freaks. More than halfway through this race, and we got battles up and down the field.
Who is going to break? Who is going to yield? As we do see a couple of our drivers giving it everything it can. Dave having to go the long way around, very close to the wall, trying to clear past some of our back markers at the moment and follow the leader for Sully and Herbert at the moment. Sully not going and putting a foot wrong at this stage of the game, but is well aware that Herbert is more than happy to dive down the inside to try and put that Lamborghini a little bit closer. And interesting to see that within one camera shot, we've got all three classes duking it out, trying to stay within the top 10. But the only driver just shy of the top 10 is Dave Jensen in that Mercedes, who seems to make up a lot of distance through the final corner, braking later and later compared to the competitors ahead.
Yeah, Dave Jensen lost a little bit of time on that lap, but is certainly having himself a strong effort, but is still battling in behind them. Take a look at drivers coming in, going wide, and it looks like Pete Mejia going up the inside. They're going up around the outside. Andy Mills looking in behind. So we got a little bit of a three-way battle here, folks, but Pete Mejia kind of gets his way through okay. Next on the list is Dave Jensen for him. He's looking to get that spot back. Pete Mejia on the charge, looking to catch it and close that gap to Dave Jensen.
Now, Richard, I've got to ask, because we starting to see our back markers taking two different approaches here. A couple of them holding their racing line, being predictable and just lifting a little bit, trying to give some room, but they still on that racing line. For anyone that needs to take them, needs to go off the racing line, try and clear past without losing too much time. Others going and moving off the racing line, allowing the faster cars to come through. In your opinion, what would be a better move? To stay on the racing line and be predictable, or for the driver to lift off the go off the racing line, lift and let you clear on by? But once again, you might catch him on the apex into corner entry.
Yeah, it's always a crapshoot, but the safest bet is to stay on the racing line. Let them know what you're doing. Be predictable. As we take a look here, that was the exact opposite we said. But in that case, he pulled off right away before Joshua Wojcinski had straightened out from the corner, and Joshua was able to make a move. So Joshua Wojcinski clearly knew what was going on. No great incidents. Hamilton making some changes clearly noted. So if you make them clearly noted like he did right there, that's no problem. Otherwise, really just follow the racing line. Give room to the faster car coming through.
As we take a look to the replay, this is Jordan Walker running into a bit of a problem in the Audi R8. A little bit of a lift to try and clear on by, and runs out very, very wide, trying to open up the corner for quite a few of the drivers, but it was the Porsche that got caught up into that fight. Not quite knowing whether he's going to make the racing line or not.
Yeah, that was... it's tough, but anyhow, we got our regularly scheduled pit stops coming up. Nathan Dewey, the first of one of our front runners, the front pack coming in. So right now, Nathan Dewey coming in, I believe, on the completion of lap 23 for him. He's in the pits. I'd expect to see the others coming in probably next time by. The pit window's got, it's open, and it's been open for a while. Not many people taking advantage of it. We'll see what happens. Joshua Wojcinski continuing to lead. David Bush to third, in second. Tyler Graff closing that gap down. So Tyler Graff applying some pressure. Go back a little further back to a replay. Chase Matsko coming up. Grazes the curve, gets off balance, gets up and, spins it around, hits the wall. Chase Matsko's car looks severely damaged. That Aston has seen better days.
Unfortunately, that's one Aston Martin that's gone from 007 to 006 in one fell swoop, going in minusing the two cylinders there. But Tyler in third place, not able to close down, and David Bush. David Morse, however, trying to move his way up. He's got Nathan Doogie. Just came out the pits and is trying to make up a bit of ground yet. David Morse currently in 18th position, Nathan in 17th. As we do see Pete diving in to the pits as well. Our top 10 trying to get themselves sorted out, get themselves back on track, and they kept a very close eye on Nathan and where on earth has he come up to the rest of the field.
Yeah, we will find out soon enough. I'm guessing we've got maybe one more lap. See some more drivers. Kevin Bergquist in, Pete Mejia as we saw in. I don't know, maybe the producer can speak in my ear and let me know, but it looked like Pete Mejia is driving a Porsche now, and I'm pretty sure that wasn't what he used to drive. I'm pretty sure he used to drive maybe a McLaren or Ferrari or something. Another driver making a car change for this season after being pretty consistent for the last few. Well, one person who's always consistent, David Bush III. He's been running that Lambo since the first time we saw him in season 1. He's still running the Lambo, and he's running it pretty fast, folks. He's in second place. He's got about a 2-second gap to Joshua Wojcinski up ahead of him. They both still have their mandatory pit stop for fuel, though.
Lift and coast as long as you can to try and stay out on the circuit. Let's go to Jesse Newsom out in 14th position at the moment. He's got Jacob Fichtner, who has been on a stellar charge despite the damage to the nose of that Mercedes, has not lost much pace. Jordan Spoon, just up the road from him, will be giving him a little bit of a tow down the main straight here, and that allows likes of Jacob to just keep alive through the straightaway, keeping ahead of Jesse Newsom for now. And take a look at the difference in line. Jesse not too happy with the car, picking up a little bit of understeer, the nose not wanting to pivot into the corners. And for the Porsche, this is a nightmare case affair where those fronts are starting to scrub up more and more on a very hot circuit.
Yeah, the longer this race goes, the more ill handling these cars are going to get, so be interesting to see who's got what tires left for the end. That's one thing I want to take a look at. Take a look and see how David Busch III does. He's notorious for saving fuel, just slowly making his way. So that 2-second gap, we'll see if it's see where it ends up, see if he saved enough tires, see if he saved enough fuel. Joshua Chinsky, though, coming around, I'd expect to see him go into the pits and next time by. That tank's got to be getting real low now, Steven.
Going to be having a disco on that dashboard, that's for certain. Where low fuel warning pops up, you got every light underneath the sun. It looks like it is time for Christmas in the cars. There's no ways that you could say you didn't see that you're running out of fuel. And for Joshua, he's going to have to try and figure out what to do. Sully Sud, meatball flag in the 70 car, getting a bit of an impact and now needing some repair work to his car as well. Not ideal circumstances. Matt Mars diving into the pits as well. So we've got a couple of drivers giving it their last little run, but they do come out on the racing line as they exit the pit lane into turn 1, which is never an easy one because now you're going to have the field swinging their way around and you having to pick up the pace.
Yeah, well, that's going on. Joshua Chinsky's out on track. David Busch III, Tyler Graf in behind him. They've come into the pits. So right now, we're going to see what happens is David Busch III and Tyler Graf, our previous second and third place drivers, are in the pits. Joshua Chinsky stayed out for one more lap, so it looks like he's nursed enough fuel, saved enough fuel to make one more lap. We'll see where everybody shapes out after the next lap. Joshua Chinsky gets his pit. Caleb Lehman also stayed out, as did Herbert Pineda. So those drivers managing to save a little more fuel than everybody else.
Little bit of lift and coast. The question is it going to come back to bite them having a later stop? 11.5 minutes to go in this race. Tyler right onto the attack. Busch up ahead, who just gets caught out behind the McLaren and not having an easy time out there. For Tyler, it is all or nothing to charge his way to the top. Can he keep his foot in it with David just within arm's reach? And for both drivers to keep cool under pressure here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this shapes out. Joshua Chinsky's in the pits, Caleb Lehman's in the pits, so as these drivers cycle around, we'll see where everybody goes. They're coming down the pit straightaway. Joshua Chinsky's exiting pit lane, so where they'll finish, we will not know for a couple of corners, but I think Joshua Chinsky's going to hold on to the lead here. We'll find out in just a second.
Only just, but he has to try and get himself up to speed yet again. David Busch and Tyler closed up the distance, couldn't quite get past, but have the opportunity to go on the attack yet again.
Yeah, Joshua Chinsky is stretching out the lead through taking that pit stop one lap later. So Chinsky now 4.2 second lead over David Busch III. So he basically doubled his lead. Now it's David Busch III going to be battling with Tyler Graf. We're on lap 29. We're almost 35 minutes into this race. So only 6 minutes of racing to go. Maybe another 6 or 7 minutes. Or sorry, 6 or 7 laps. We shall see, folks. Right now, we've got Pete Mejia currently in 11th place. Pete Mejia having himself a good battle with Andy Mills. Andy Mills applying some good pressure. Pete Mejia responding and making sure he's got the lines covered off. Nice clean race between these two drivers this late in the session.
Got to take my hats off to every single one of the drivers, just doing everything they can to keep it all together. We say that there's 9 minutes and 37 seconds to go, but on a circuit, you are going and racing as hard as you can, you're fighting out there, you're starting to build up lactic acid in your legs, in your arms, you're starting to feel mentally drained. Despite it being 9 minutes, you feel that it's going on for another hour, because these type of circuits, these street circuits, really test the mental and physical strength of our drivers out there.
Well, that is for sure. And I mean, we had the pleasure of broadcasting another street circuit last night. So back-to-back street circuits has been a treat for us, but we're not the ones having to drive these beasts around with the concrete on both sides. Every possible misstep, it could be catastrophe. There's no runoff area here, folks. Andy Mills still trying to get by Pete Mejia. Pete Mejia doing a solid effort of maintaining his position. So Pete Mejia is second in class right now. Andy Mills is third in his class. So positions to be made, points to be gained. Nobody's happy with what they've got right now, I think, except for Joshua Chinsky.
Everyone trying to figure out what they can do to maximize the first round of the championship. I mean, this is first 1 out of 10 that the drivers have to really step up to see what they can do. David Bush, however, getting caught up behind a couple of back markers, hoping to clear past as quick as possible, as Tyler, it will be right on the back of him, waiting for every opportunity. That's Cesar Germans, who currently holds on to 22nd position in that Mustang. He's trying to make up a little bit of ground, and unfortunately that's held the likes of David Bush III up quite a bit and allowed Tyler to get right on the back of him.
Yeah, Tyler Graff, and no stranger to podiums, doing a good job of maneuvering through traffic. That said, he's looking for a podium position. Go a little further back through the field. Look at this line of cars, Stephen. This late in the race, we're 37 and a half minutes through. We're nose to tail. Unfortunately, that's a little bit of a mix of drivers on the lead lap, drivers getting a lap down, somebody coming into the pits there. So right now, David Bush III, we're taking a look at here. He's up battling still there with Tyler Graff. In behind is Cesar Jimenez, is in 22nd, 1 lap down, still battling hard though. So Andrew Ellis in behind him. Everybody's kind of battling for positions, whether they're a lap down or on the current lap. So I understand these guys wanted to keep going.
Just trying to push that a little bit more. Matt Mars was the car that pulled into the pits, going to the principal's office after reaching total incident points. And unfortunately, we'll be having a pack of nerds while waiting for the clock to run down. Drivers doing everything they can to wait through. Only from 1st to 21 are on the lead lap at the moment. If you think about that, down to 21st is on the lead lap. Everyone else is a lap down. Joshua hasn't been holding back on the field. Neither has David Bush III. Tyler Croft, along with Tyler K2 in 4th position. Felix Fizz, who currently holds on to the first place for the GT3 Pro-Am. And Nathan Doogie, after being first to the top 10, holds on to the first for the Am class. And he's got quite a bit of room before Dave Jensen holding into 10th position.
Yeah, there's some great battles. And, you know, 21 cars on the lead lap doesn't sound like much, folks. They're running laps of 1:11 here. So that's not that big a gap, especially when there was earlier incidents that caused traffic to back up. So quite impressive considering all the casualties we've had. I think we've had, maybe 15, at least 15 cars involved in incidents hitting those walls. So the driver's still having 21 cars on the lead lap. Quite impressive. Speaking of impressive, Joshua Chinsky, what an impressive season debut for him. He's led from the start. Now he's almost got 6 seconds on David Bush III. David Bush III getting caught in a little bit of traffic. So Joshua Chinsky out for a Sunday drive. He's following along behind Deweese, looking to get by Drew Deweese right now. That makes it so now there are only 19 cars on the lead lap.
Just trying to keep it all together. Now, you said walls, I call it guide rail. If you don't know the circuit, it keeps you between the lines. Left and right, you just follow the line through. But taking a look further down, Colin McKenzie in that Acura, currently in 14th position, trying to catch up to Jesse Newman ahead of him, but just not having the top end on that four-cylinder twin-turbocharged Acura NSX up against the flat 6 of Jesse Newsom's Porsche.
Well, you know, the one advantage of driving on a street circuit is it's virtually impossible to get an off track. That's what the quote-unquote guardrails are for, isn't it, Stephen? Take a look here at Colin McKenzie, 14th place. We saw Colin having a little earlier issue. He's down 5 positions in the day, but looking to get back a little further. He's still 3rd position in class. Jordan Spoon here in that beautiful livery, currently in 15th place, started 26, folks. You see that on the screen. Then number 13 car having a solid effort.
Father's doing everything he can. Jordan Spoon out in, I've got to say, one of the most colourful cars out this season. And it's good to see quite a few of the drivers going and putting on some interesting liveries, just showing off their colours, going in wearing their heart on their sleeves. Pete, however, holding on to 11th position, has got Andy Mills all over the back of him, looking to try and clear past left and right with 3 minutes and 22 seconds to go. This is where it starts getting nerve-wracking. This starts getting a little bit of a worry, and for the drivers fighting out in the front, they'll start to pick up a little bit of a shake on their right leg, just trying to get it through to the end. You know you're so close to finishing this race, you're so close to maximizing the points, but you've got to keep your head in the game just that little bit longer.
Yeah, just that little bit longer, but that little bit longer is a long, long time to take a look at David Bush III doing his best to make his way through traffic. David Bush III coming up on Wagner, trying to get by because he's got Tyler Graff all over the back of him. This is going to come down to the end here. These two drivers getting through relatively cleanly and smoothly. Tyler Graff looking to maybe take advantage of some of this traffic. David Bush III, though, having none of it thus far, doing a good job of negotiating his way through things.
At the moment, doesn't want to have any delays laying that pipe, as David Bush just having a tough time. And I've got to say, Tyler, despite everything, has been keeping the pressure on the whole way through. He's been trying to see whether he can force David Bush into a mistake. And so far, David Bush has just soaked up that pressure every step of the way. Tyler's going to have to pull the pin out of the hand grenade soon and take his shot, take that dive down the inside, take that deep breath to see if he can force the Lambo off the apexes, try and get that Porsche underneath and see if he can move forward.
Yeah, both these drivers are no strangers to driving up near the pointy end of the field. David Bush III, longtime racer here. Tyler Graff, longtime racer there. Both of them very comfortable in the interview room afterwards because they get lots of podiums. So I don't expect Tyler Graff going to be scaring David Bush into any mistakes. So if he's going to want that second place, he's going to have to get up there and steal it.
Go and try and chase their way through. 2 laps to go, and the sharp end of the field, second and third, anyone's game here, as we do see a couple of drivers pulling into the pits. Seb Gunther, unfortunately, going and getting himself sorted out, but Tyler just not close enough to David Bush through the first sector, having a difficult time out there. David Morse going and trying to move forward in 17th position. He's got Jacob Fichtner up the road from him. The two teammates in different classes trying to work their way through. However, Caleb Silner will be trying to do everything he can to move out that 18th spot and also get ahead of the two teammates.
Yeah, Caleb Silner, a new driver to Throttle Freaks, having himself a great race and nice debut, I must say. That all said, the biggest mover shaker on the day, Drew DeWeese. Drew DeWeese right now not in any battles, but Drew DeWeese up 21 positions, folks. So kudos to him as we take a look at Caleb Sellner going up and around the outside. Side by side they come. We're down to the last lap for these guys, so they're battling hard now.
Tried his absolute best to see if he could clear through. Couldn't quite get it done. As we back up towards our leaders, no change, Dave Bush and Tyler Croft at the moment. Bumper in the middle of the road as everyone walls for the final time, and it looks like it's Jacob Fichtner who falls down the order. But coming up towards the line, it is going to be the likes of Joshua Chinsky to take the victory. More than happy for it. Here is Felix, who was right up at the top. Now looks like running into a bit of a problem for the GT3 Pro-Am towards the end. Oh, not quite what he wanted. Into the back of the McLaren, and unfortunately taking a bit of damage to his car.
Yeah, that was not what you want to see last lap of the race, unfortunately. Take a look at the replay, and yeah, Andrew Ellis just kind of parked it, and there was really nothing else that could be done there, unfortunately. Anyhow, we're watching Joshua Chinsky, race leader, pole sitter, started the race on pole, was first place going into corner one. He's still first place on lap 38, 45-minute race. Congratulations, Joshua Chinsky. David Bush the third, second. His teammate Tyler Graff in third.
Absolutely well done. Nathan Doogie going and pulling in early from that top 10. Now just cycling his way through to take the victory in the GT3 AM class. And how's this? A GT3 AM in the top 10 and beating out a Pro-Am towards the sharp end of the field. Nathan on a stellar drive will finish 7th overall and first in class. The Chevy managing to take a victory here with Dave Jensen finishing up in second place. It's Pete Mejia who will hold on to first in the GT3 Pro-Am field with his Porsche as he kept the pressure on Dave ahead of him. He went and had a stellar run. What a race, what a charge. And there's still quite a few cars looking to come across the line. David Morse, who finishes up in 17th position, will be smiling all the way through as he's kept Kevin Bergquist behind him right to the line.
What a fabulous race. Unfortunately, it looks like Drew DeWeese is just hoping he's got enough speed here to coast across the finish line. And no, that Mustang run out of gas, folks. He's gonna have to sit and park it.
Oh, that's when you're busy hoping that someone will just give you a little bit of a heave-ho like what our McLaren had into the wall. Hopefully a little one to get them across the line. Our drivers gently making their way through after a stellar run to the line for round one of the Throttle Freaks GT3 Championship. And what a drive, Richard. What a drive from our competitors.
Yeah, they certainly put on a show for week one. Quite exciting, and I don't think we could have asked for more. But speaking of what we got, the pro category, Joshua Chinsky led every single lap, got pole, led every lap. A perfect night of racing for him. David Bush the third, Madworks Lunatics Racer in second, basically start to finish. Tyler Graff, his teammate, third. So great start to the season for the Madworks Lunatics drivers.
Managed to get the fastest lap, most laps led, and pole position. Joshua Chinsky taking no prisoners here tonight. Wasn't the hardest charger, but for our Pro-Am, it's Pete Mejia taking first place with Felix Fliz, and Jordan Spoon taking third. Hardest charger was Kevin Bergquist, followed by our fastest lap set by Seb Gunter, and pole position, Pete Mejia going and taking that top spot for our GT3 Pro-Am. But casting our eyes to our GT3 AM class, well, it was a proper run for Nathan Doogie, managing up into first place with a early pit stop. Dave Jensen will take second place in the Mercedes. Andy Mills in third. Hardest charger was Drew Duessy, who unfortunately ran out of fuel at the end. Fastest lap set by Nathan Doogie, and pole position by Nathan Doogie, taking a double on our run. But Richard, what a stellar drive by all our competitors.
It certainly was, and I was really impressed by the pace of Nathan Doogie and Dave Jensen, both amateur drivers. I'd be a little worried about showing off that much skill on week one, folks. Might be a little reclassification coming in if you get my drift. Those guys were fast, and both demonstrated a tremendous amount of talent. Very nice racing. Nice to see all the different manufacturers really represented well tonight, Stephen.
Absolutely wonderful. Dave Bush and Tyler Croft, they're actually teammates despite the different liveries, finishing up second and third. And Tyler K2 will be holding on to that fifth place. Caleb Lehman holding on to fifth. But with that being said, we've got a couple of drivers to have a chat to, and we'll be getting a bit of an insight of how it was out on the circuit on a very, very hot day here in Florida, and seeing who kept the tires alive that little bit longer. But Richard, catching up with our first place driver, Joshua Chinsky.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, congratulations, Joshua. That was an impressive week one.
Thank you. Yeah, this is I've been waiting for this track for years for iRacing to bring it in. I mean, I've been watching IndyCar around here since I started following them.
I know you're an IndyCar driver, so, you know, I thought you'd be kind of a fan of this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And street circuits are my all-time favorite courses to drive around. So it was kind of and I just totally lost my words.
Match made in heaven? How's that?
Yes. Yep. Match made in heaven. Yep. We'll go with that.
Awesome. Well, that was quite the performance. The Corvette seemed to handle the bumps and the the rough pavement of St. Pete's. I know you've typically been a Corvette driver. Any thoughts to changing cars this season, or are you just Corvette through and through?
Oh, normally Corvette through and through regardless, but this season's schedule actually I think really suits it. There's a couple tracks of where I'll probably be a little bit down on top end. Like I know Fuji's a really tough one for the Corvette coming out of that last corner. Almost every other car has the acceleration and power out of fifth gear and above that. I typically lose out there, but otherwise it's such a nice handling car. It's decent in the slow speed,
and it looks damn good. It looks
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, how can you not love the American made, and I'm gonna go ahead and come out with some controversy here, the new American supercar?
There you go. Hey, I'm not going to disagree with you. Next week we're at Sebring. I think if it did well here, I think it'll do well at Sebring too. You think you got enough maybe to go back to back?
We'll see what I can do. Nothing's a guaranteed in this league. There's a whole bunch of really fast guys. I mean, I got Tyler Graff behind, David Bush. Great race to them. And they had some good pace around here too. I was a little worried going through practice and then mostly through qualifying too, because everybody was really tight. But I'll see what I can do at Sebring. Again, I love that track too. So I'll just put in the laps and see where the dice falls after the race.
You're just a Florida racer at heart, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Well, congratulations once again. Any shout outs tonight, Joshua?
Absolutely. Shout out to SRT. You guys are just absolutely fantastic with everything you guys do. You push me to be where I'm at as a driver. Shout out to Throttle Freaks for putting together such an absolutely amazing series. And then lastly, shout out to you guys with Racer Nexus for putting on the broadcast. I can't wait to watch this one back, and I know there's going to be some carnage, so I'll be getting the popcorn and looking forward to that.
Well, fortunate for you, it was all behind you. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
So wonderful to have a chat to you, Joshua, and you can hear the confidence and the excitement coming into the season. But let's move on to our second place driver that took on all the pressure, David Bush. Welcome to the commentary box. First of all, how are you feeling climbing out of the Lamborghini after a very hot day here in Florida and a mighty amount of pressure put on you from Tyler, was chasing you down every which way possible?
I'm exhausted, to say the least.
So with that being said, take us through the race. How was it out there for you? And what was going through your mind trying to plan out your pit stop with Tyler constantly on your tail?
I mean, the start of the race was pretty adorable. I was looking to start the season off on the right foot, just not get into any incidents. Overall, the pace was good. I was hoping to keep in touch with Josh there. I think I did pretty well until the pit stop, but once we hit the pit stop, the traffic just built on top of things, and couldn't keep up. But yeah, Tyler was keeping up with me there. But predicting when to lunge and predicting where the cars in front of us that are being lapped are about to go is such a hard combination, especially on week 1.
And so it's all about trying to get the point moving forward. Before we let you go to enjoy the celebration, anything you want to say to all the partners here at Throttle Freaks, to every one of our Throttle Freaks petrol heads out in the virtual grandstands that were cheering you on in your Lamborghini?
Big shout out to Racer Nexus for broadcast, the TFRL admins for all the stuff that they do to run the league, and Team Lunatic. Let's a good start here. Let's try to fight for this team championship. I'm looking forward to this season.
Absolutely wonderful. David Bush managing to capture second place in our GT3 Pro and did a stellar job. That being said, Richard, you managed to catch up with Tyler.
Tyler Graff, congratulations on third place tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a tricky race. I don't know, especially when we got. I don't know. It was a race before we got to the lap traffic and after. It felt like really once we got to the lap traffic, racing for position was kind of just over. It was kind of just managing to make sure that I didn't get into my teammate and make sure we brought it home second and third.
Well, see, that's where you messed us up a little bit, Tyler. First of all, what are you driving this season? And it's such a big change for us in the booth here. It almost seems like, you know, I don't know what happened. And then we find out late in the race that David Bush III is also your teammate.
I got on the wrong horse. Wow. I just got on the wrong horse this morning. I don't know.
Is that what happened? We didn't realize David Bush III was your teammate until very late in the race, and production back at Race Control, the admins of the league, let us know. So understandably, you didn't want to get into the back of him, but week 1.
Yeah, I was really happy with my pace, though. I think I had pace for Chinsky, but unless you're 3/10 or more quicker than the guy in front of you, you're not going to make a pass here safely, and it just wasn't worth it. So we brought back good points, and
for sure,
yeah, good for the team.
Next week, Sebring, looking forward to see what you can do there. Any shout outs tonight, Tyler? You're always good at the shout outs. Let's hear them.
Shout out to everybody at Lunatic, my friends at Madworks, and if you want to listen to Hot Milk, the URL's on the car, some good music, and we'll be back in the Ferrari on Lunatic next week.
Yeah, there we go. I'm sure we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, you have a good one.
Thanks.
For a bit of music. That being said, sweet music coming from Pete. Welcome to the commentary box. A first place in the GT3 Pro-Am field. What a way to kick off round 1.
Yeah, thank you, boys. Yeah, it was exciting. Really not expected, for sure. Not considering the season I had last year. No, it's been a while since I've talked to you guys.
Well, that being said, you were in a fight the entire race with Dave Jensen ahead of you, Felix keeping pressure on the back. What was going through your mind in this race to try and hold that first place?
I had no idea what place I was in. I was just trying to hit my marks lap after lap, corner after corner, not really paying attention to anything but myself. I was just trying to run smooth laps, keep it off the wall. As you guys know, this place is difficult. It's a lot of concentration. So, I was just trying to run smooth laps, and it was going to be what it was going to be. Very hard to pass. Try to avoid trouble.
Now, with that being said, what's the game plan heading into Sebring for round 2 now that you got the target firmly fixed on your back?
Consistency. Just going to try to finish each race. Last year, I had a lot of DNFs. So I'm just going to try to finish every race and see how it plays out. Try to maximize points, not push any bad positions. Play it a little bit conservative.
Rather take it race by race. Before we let you go to enjoy the celebration, champagne, anything you want to say to anyone else on the Racing Networks channel, to the Throttle Freaks, pit crew, to the admin, and to the petrol heads out in the virtual grandstand?
Yeah, absolutely. Just want to thank the guys at Throttle Freaks for putting this on. It's a great series. I love it. I don't think I've missed a season yet. Logitech, all my friends at Logitech who support our team, my teammates who push me every week, keep me motivated, and my family, of course, my wife and kids, who will give me the time to do this.
Absolutely wonderful. Well done, Pete, and we look forward to having a chat to you at Sebring. Now that you're going and taking some of the movement forward, we look forward to seeing you at the top of the charts this season. Richard, with that being said, you managed to hook up with Nathan Doogie, who managed to got 7th place overall and first in class for the GT3M.
Hey, Nathan, congratulations. It's quite the stellar week 1.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. My objective today was literally to finish, so I'm feeling pretty good about the results.
And finish you did, 7th place overall, first in class. Corvette was looking mighty strong tonight. Did you do a lot of prep for this week?
Did I have a lot of practice? Yeah, I've been practicing for the last maybe week and a half.
It showed. I was making a joke late in the race with your performance tonight. Man, oh man, you're making the M category hard to stick in. Next week we're at Sebring. How do you think things are going to go at Sebring for you? You had a great race tonight, similar bumpy track, maybe another good result?
I think Sebring is really technical, and on a short track like this, you don't really need a lot of time to figure it out, but I'm not all that great at Sebring, so yet again, the objective is just going to be the finish.
Well, that's always been my way of thinking as well, Nathan. If you want to finish first you got to finish. Something like that. Rob's going to tell me in my ear that I messed it up, because I do every time. But congratulations. I don't know if we had a chance to talk to you before here in the booth, but I believe that may be your first race win with Throttle Freaks, is it?
I can't remember. I was here for season 1. Work got in the way, so after about 5 weeks, I had to quit, and I'm just back, just trying to, bring some more fun back into my life. I'm actually off like an 8-month hiatus from work, so. Well,
it looks like you had some fun tonight. Hopefully, you have some more fun every Wednesday night. Any shout-outs tonight, Nathan?
Really to my wife. I haven't seen her in like 65 days. I'm up in Rhode Island at work, and I love her to the moon and back, so that's really it.
Well, hopefully you get to see her soon, Nathan. Congratulations. We'll see you next week.
Appreciate you guys.
Well, not an easy one to be away from the family, but that being said, we've got Dave Jensen, who finished up 2nd place in the GT3M. Dave, welcome to the commentary box, and, well, taking a look at your car. Bumper missing, but a 2nd place on the carts. Not a bad evening.
No, not a bad evening at all, especially with a 0x. So I don't know how I got a 0x, lost the bumper, but I hit the wall quite a few times.
Just going and skirting the guardrails on the way through. How did you find the track this evening? The temperature being so high, such a fierce grid on you, and you were not out of a 3-way battle at any point of this race.
Yeah, it's tough in the Merc. That's probably my least favorite track.
Least
Especially
favorite track?
at 120 degrees as well. Yeah, it wasn't fun.
Well, least favorite track, but you still managed to get a 2nd place. I can't wait to see what you do when you're out on the track you like. Anything you have planned heading into Sebring now that we move away from the circuit to our normal race circuits?
Just try to go for top 10 overalls and podiums in the M class. Maybe move up to Pro M midway through the season. We'll see.
See how it all goes. Before I let you go to enjoy the celebrations, anything to say to petrol heads out there at the Racer Nexus virtual grandstands?
Just got to thank my family and my wife for letting me do this week in and week out, and thank the Lunatic boys, and thank you guys. You guys put on a great show.
Absolutely wonderful. Dave getting at 2nd place in the GT3M, and what a stellar run. But Richard, you have got Andy Mills, full 3rd.
Andy, congratulations. 3rd place, week 1. Nice start to the season.
Hey, thanks a lot. It was a great time.
It was a great time for sure. Tight confines at St. Petersburg. you're in the hunt. You're right in the middle of the mix. Amateur driver finishing 12th overall. How'd that race go for you? Were you expecting such a great result?
Yeah, I felt good coming in. I raced these street tracks pretty well. And I had a good practice this week with the SRT boys, and we really got prepped and ready, and I felt good. I had a bit of an issue in qualifying. I don't know if you saw, we actually, a teammate of mine dived me a little bit, and I had to tow to the pits, but I got back out there. It took me like forever to get those tires warmed back up, and I got a good quali lap in, and then I raced Pete for, I don't know, 30 laps, nose to tail, and we had a great time. I was talking to Pete in the waiting room, and him and I were just reminiscing about our respectful driving and going at each other a little bit, or me trying to get after him a little bit. But man, I had a good race, and looking forward to the rest of the season.
Well, I mean, that's what it's all about. That's why we come in here week in, week out and do these virtual races. It's for the competition and the good, clean racing. Get the heart rate pounding, get some excitement, and you certainly seem to have all of that this week.
Yeah, and again, a shout out to the team, the Speedworks SRT boys. I mean, it was great. I know you guys will recall I was independent last season. I was the guy with the Red Bull or the Red Line Sim livery. I got a couple jokes on the broadcast a few times, but I'm back here in the green and black, and ready to go for this season.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing what you can do at Sebring next week. But any shout outs tonight, Andy?
Yeah, definitely a shout out to Jacob Fickner. We actually worked together. He pulled me into Throttle Freaks for the last season, and then I joined the team. He brought me into the SRT team, and he's helped me a lot along the way. I can't say enough for all the advice he's given me. So big shout out to Jacob, and into the fam, allowing me to get after this hobby sport a little bit more. So, and thank you guys for your broadcast. It's awesome.
Well, we're glad to do it, and looks like you're going to try and follow the tradition of Jacob, our class winner for the last season. So welcome. Glad to see you return. Well, definitely tough act to follow, but we're glad to see you came back for season 2 for yourself. Let's see what's in store for you. 3rd place and nice start to the season.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Okay, good night now.
Well, an exciting evening nonetheless, but the racing still to continue. As I said, Sebring next week. All eyes look forward to the bumpy circuit, especially after the 12 hours of Sebring that's coming up this weekend on iRacing. To anyone that's participating in that, good luck and have a safe race. But Richard, anything from your side just to set this incredible evening?
We had ourselves a fabulous week 1 Throttle Freaks GT3 League. We're sitting here at St. Petersburg next week, Sebring. It's been a pleasure, Stephen. Nice having you in the booth. A little bit of a change up from Rob Campbell. We stuck him back in the back corner, folks. He's looking after cameras for us. But I'm Richard Swindells. On behalf of Racer Nexus, Stephen Koenig, Rob Campbell back in the booth. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.